Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, I'm making hamburger buns and this is my recipe for making hamburger buns. I use the same recipe for sub rolls. It just depends on how you make them, form them I guess I should say. And let me show you how to make these if you have a bread machine. Well, you start with 2 eggs and I try to drop those eggs over the little paddles to break the yolks, but you don't have to do that. That's just something I do. I hope you're doing well and things are going good for you. And then we're going to add 300 grams of milk. Now you need to get a kitchen scale and weigh these ingredients, at least the milk and the flour. And then 4 tablespoons of butter. Now kitchen scales are so inexpensive, there's really no reason not to have one. You can get them for about $20. So if you're going to bake your own bread, you certainly want to get a scale. And then 3 teaspoons of kosher salt. Kosher salt is not as salty as table salt. And then 4 tablespoons of powdered milk. And we'll just sprinkle that in. And then 3 tablespoons of sugar. Well, the salt is salty, but it's larger, and so not as much goes into the measure. And so anyway, well, hope you understand. 600 grams of all-purpose flour. Make sure you weigh it. All right, that's 600 grams. And then 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. Now we'll pop this into the bread machine, and I'll set it for the regular dough setting. And I'll let it completely go through the cycle until it's finished. And so it rises and does all the stuff that it does. And then once it's done, we'll take that dough out, and I want you to see what the dough looks like. This is how yours should look. If you notice, it's not sticky. It's a beautiful dough. I don't have to add any extra flour, and I don't have to do anything to it but work it and get it ready to make these rolls. So once again, I'm going to get the kitchen scale out and weigh the dough so that my hamburger buns are the same size. And so we'll just put that on the scale. And I'm going to go for about 110 to 112 grams to make a really nice size hamburger bun. You can make them a little smaller, of course, or a little larger, but 112 grams makes a really large hamburger bun. And so you work the dough like this, you fold it or pull it down to the bottom so the top is nice and smooth like that, and then you press it into a disc. And so press it down like that, just that simple. And I'm going to set that over on this little bake grill. This goes in my air fryer, and that's what I'm going to cook these on or in. Brush them with butter. Now you could cook them in your regular oven if you want to. It works just the same, just as good. And I'm going to let these rise. I'm going to put them in this pan and cover it and then stick this in my oven. My oven is not on, but I have the oven light on, and that gives it a nice warm environment to let this dough, these rolls or these buns, rise. So I'm going to let them rise for 80 minutes. And after that, they'll be ready to cook or to bake in the air fryer. And with the remainder of the dough, I've just divided it up, and I'm going to put it in the freezer and use these later. So I'll put these in the freezer, and now the dough has risen. It's 80 minutes later, and I'm going to pop them in the air fryer. This is what they look like after 80 minutes. And so I'm going to bake these at 330 degrees Fahrenheit until they're golden on top, and it's about 8 minutes. I really just watch them, and when they get golden, then I take them out, and here's what they look like. And I'm going to flip them over because the bottoms are not done yet. So you flip them and put them back in and let them keep cooking until the bottoms are golden as well. It's about another 5 minutes. And now this is the air fryer method. If you're doing it in your oven, you would bake them at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. But even in your oven, you need to just watch them and make sure they're nice and golden. And here's what they look like once the bottoms are done. So we'll turn them back over and let them cool for 20 to 30 minutes. Now you want to do that before you try to slice them. Now after 20 minutes, it's time to just slice these hamburger buns up and they'll be ready to go. So I'll use my bread knife and they slice really easy. They turned out just the way I'd hoped. These are wonderful hamburger buns. They also would make a good sub roll if you shape them in the shape of a sub roll. You can see they're just beautiful. And so I'm going to put some mayonnaise. And of course you make your hamburgers however you like yours. And then I've grilled a nice hamburger patty and melted some cheese, put some lettuce and tomato on. I like a little pepper. Put a little black pepper on that. And then how about some mustard? And it's just whatever you like. This is what I like. And some hamburger dills. And this is a classic cheeseburger made with a homemade hamburger bun. And that's what it looks like. And some crinkle fries as well. That's how you make it. It's so easy. I hope you give it a try. I'm going to enjoy lunch. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye now.